Hi everyone, this is Lovelin Johnson, and today we are going to be looking at the law of visual expression from the 16 undeniable laws of communication. Before we get started, I would like to do an interactive exercise with you. I'm going to say two words, and I want you to tell me what came to your mind. So think about these two words: elephant, shark attack. Now, how many of you had a picture of elephant when I said the word elephant? You have seen elephants at some point in time and you had this visual of the elephant, or a shark attack where you at least had the shark in water of some sort. How many of you saw the words elephant written and the word shark attack written? I can bet most of us, when you heard the word elephant, you saw the picture of the elephant. And when you heard the word shark attack, you saw some kind of a visual of the shark. The reason is we are visual thinkers, and when we hear words, right away we don't see the word itself, we see the picture of the word. Let's talk about the shocking truth about memory. If I gave a presentation and within 3 hours, if I asked you, what did you learn from that presentation? You probably could say 70% of it if my presentation didn't have pictures. But if it had pictures, you could retain 85% of it. That's pretty impressive. One with no pictures, you could retain 70%. But here's the tricky thing: the gap gets wider with time. After 3 days, if I asked you, can you tell me what you learned from the presentation? You would probably retain only 10% of my presentation if it didn't have pictures, if it didn't have effective slides. However, if it had pictures, you could retain 60% of it. So your retention is higher when there is pictures associated with it. Did you know that about 80% of our sensory input is visuals? And because of that, we are designed to absorb more visual information than auditory information. So when you are trying to present facts, it would be wonderful to use images so that you are engaging both your right brain and your left brain. Our left brain is designed for logical thinking, and our right brain is where the images, the creative side, the arts, the music, and all that lies. And when you're trying to engage your audience with facts and you're engaging their logical side of it, when you use images, now suddenly your message is even more impactful because you're engaging both sides of the brain. So, what is the law of visual expression? Show and tell is better than just tell. An average person receives 1,000 messages every single day. So, this is afternoon for me. I've already received 500 different messages through emails, through text messages, through WhatsApp, through Facebook Messenger. You are constantly bombarded with messages. How much of these messages could you remember? Not much. But if I ask you, what visuals did you see today? You probably could say a few of them. The reason is show and tell is better than just tell. We are going to look at 4 different methods that we could use with our body as our visual aids. Before we could think about props and other things, what could we do with our body? First is body language. As you walk through this to the stage, how is your posture? Are you walking with your head down and holding up very little space, or are you walking by holding a lot of space and looking and making eye contact with people as you head to the stage? Because your body language dictates whether you have a powerful posture or a powerless posture. And often you would see people who would be standing behind a lectern and would be giving their presentation, and they have not moved an inch throughout their presentation. It's funny, the book calls them the neck up speakers because you have no idea what's happening below, but from neck and above, you can literally see them. And the problem with that is their expressions are powerless because most of their body is hidden behind the lectern. So have a more powerful body language. Another thing that we want to talk about is your smile. The world has thousands of languages, But smile is one common language all of us could understand. When you are going up, bring the energy up, smile. Everyone looks wonderful when they throw a smile on their face. Your body relaxes and your nerves are calming down as you smile. So try to smile and engage with the audience. And that's where the connection is built, not by standing with a cold face. Another thing is movement and position. When you move, the audience are engaged even more because you're moving from one end to the other, and not for the sake of moving. As you make a point, when you move from one place to another, it has an effect on people. You are engaging the audience in a meaningful way. So move with a purpose. And also position yourself. If you're running a workshop, don't be standing on the stage. Move along with the audience. Whenever there's an opportunity for you to come and be with them, use that space, because that's where you're building connection. You're getting closer. The proximity with them makes them engaged, and because of that they are more happy and they are able to retain more content from you, because you're no longer creating a gap and standing on the stage, but by coming down you are closing the gap and having a meaningful connection. So we just looked at the power of body language and how we could engage with our smile, movement, proximity, all that helping us connect with our audience. The next powerful thing that you could do is the power of metaphors. You want to explain something big, you could use metaphors and use pictures to connect with your audience. I love this quote. It says, if a picture is worth 1,000 words, a metaphor is worth 1,000 pictures. That's the power of metaphors. Let's assume I want to explain the power of transformation, and I just use words to explain my 6 key points. Transformation always starts with an individual. Transformation requires partnership. It can never be done solo. It means helping people rise from where they are to where they could be. It occurs when people embrace good values in their heart and live out those values. It happens around table when people are connecting and sharing their thoughts and ideas and engaging in a meaningful way. Last but not the least, transformation is a bridge that takes you from where you are to where you can be. I know it was really hard for you to retain those 6 points. Now let me try to explain the same points with a picture. If I show a picture of a mirror and then I say transformation starts within the individual, think about how impactful it is. If I show a picture of a handshake and I say transformation requires partnership, it's even more impactful. If I show a picture of a ladder and show you that you're going to rise from one rung to another, you are able to retain that information even more well. For point 4, if I bring in a picture of the heart and I say it's all about embracing good values in your heart, it's impactful. If I show a picture of people gathered around the table having a nice conversation and I say transformation is about sharing information with people and engaging with conversation with them, it's impactful. You are able to retain it well. The last point, if I show a bridge and I would say transformation is a bridge that takes you from where you are to a better life, that's even more impactful. All these 6 images will help you retain the content in a much more meaningful way than me talking about 6 points with no images. That's the power of word images. Whenever you are trying to explain an abstract concept, try to bring pictures into place and then explain the abstract, because you're making this invisible concept visible. Transformation is such an abstract concept. By just giving you 6 pictures, now I've broken it down so that you could understand and you could retain most of it because of those images. So use word pictures wherever you can. I would like to leave you with a challenge. Think about all the communication that you're having, the conversations with your spouse, the conversations with your children, with your co-workers, with a stranger as you go for a walk. We are constantly communicating. Try to communicate in simple terms. Give word pictures so people could understand. Don't use too much words because people cannot retain as much with words than with pictures. Give them good picture images so that your message is impactful and they could retain a lot of what you say. I hope you found this lesson helpful. Next week, we are going to be looking at the law of storytelling. I hope to see you there.